Francis, welcome. If you could, your thoughts on the Open.
Yeah, another year at the Open. I'm super excited to be here, obviously. Coming in with really good momentum, and yeah, hoping for another really big run. I love playing here in New York, obviously, so we'll see what happens.
Thank you. Questions?
Richard Osborne, USOpen.org. Hey, Francis. Some people don't put a lot of significance on the rankings, but I know you were saying earlier to be back up there with the other guys in your group, to have this group, a chunk of guys in the top 20's got to feel good for you.
Yeah. I mean, American guys have been playing well for a really long time. It's nice. It's nice to definitely, be back up there, with those guys. But I mean, obviously, I want to be back, closer to, where I want to be, in the top 10 and so on and so forth. So, but last week was definitely a good stepping stone towards that for sure.
And are you feeling, given what happened in Cincinnati, there's got to be a pretty good feeling coming in here this year?
Oh, absolutely. But every week, every event is you got to take it for what it is. Obviously, I had great momentum there, but in general, I'm feeling much better. Since Wimbledon, I've been playing much better. So it finally came together that week, and trying to use that for this.
David.
Hi, Francis. David Kane, tennis.com. You were the last person to play Yannick before all this news came out about him, and you were very complimentary of him and his play after the final. I'm curious what you make of all the news that's come out in the last couple of days.
Yeah, I mean, I just think, obviously he's an incredible player. And, governing bodies made a decision. They went and did that. And he's cleared to play. And, that's pretty much what I have to say about it. All the best to him at the U.S. Open, and I'm just excited about me doing my thing at the Open.
Okay. David.
Hi, Francis. I realize when you get a draw, you can only concentrate on the first player that you're playing against. I just wondered, do you look ahead in the draw at all? Are you aware who might be in your path in 2 rounds' time, for instance?
Yeah, you got to see what's going on for sure. You have to. But yeah, I mean, obviously those things don't happen unless you take care of, what's in front of you. But for sure, no question, that's it.
Tomorrow.
You said Tamani Gauff from The Guardian. You said you're focused on yourself, of course, but have you been following a lot of the discourse around? There's obviously a lot of your fellow players saying that they believe there's one rule for the top player and other rules for other people. Have you followed any of that?
Honestly, I haven't followed much. I've been super busy this week myself, just taking care of all the stuff I got to do. But yeah, I mean, a lot of people have spoken out and said things about it. I'm, again, as I said to him, governing bodies did what they did. Obviously, he's cleared to play, and that's ultimately all that matters. I'm just trying to focus on the U.S. Open, and yeah, I finally had a great week in Cincinnati, and that's all I'm really focused on.
Howard.
Hey, Francis. Howard Fenderich with the AP. There have been a few instances recently of questions about whether there ought to be more video review available to chair umpires. Curious what you think about that, and do you know that they do have that here, and are you happy that
Very happy to have that.
extra?
Very happy to have that. I think it's very big. There's a lot on the line that you're playing for, and I mean, some things that happened last week, I feel like this can't happen at elite level. So, and we're talking about top of the game, our biggest events outside of Slam. So, I think it's a really good thing. Technology is so good now. I think it should be covered in that way for sure.
Cindy and then Willie.
Hi, Francis. Cindy Schmerler from the New York Times. You opted not to play the Olympics, but you've just been signed to the world team for the Laver Cup. In your mind, is tennis a team sport? Is it an individual sport? Where does that team concept fit in for you?
Yeah, I mean, if there's a team event and I'm feeling good and ready to play, I'm going to play. I love playing team events. Obviously, it's an individual sport, but I think team events bring a good vibe. I think it shows a lot of players' personalities and stuff, and getting people out their shells a little bit. I think it's really good for the sport. I think Laver Cup's an incredible event. It's done well for however many years it's going on, 5-6 years, and I love being a part of it. I love playing it, and yeah, so I'll be out there for sure.
Willie?
Willie Weinbaum from ESPN. Hi, Francis. What are your thoughts on the one title that had eluded Novak for so long, and now he has it, the Olympic gold, and what that does to his mentality and his stature?
Yeah, I mean, I know how bad he wanted that one for sure, and it's incredible effort. Incredible effort. I mean, you gotta tip your hat off to him. I mean, stats wise, I think he's been the greatest player of all time for a while now, and obviously now he gets cemented it. I mean, crazy. He's like 45 and he's still winning every tournament. So it's really good to see what he's doing. But yeah, I mean, tremendous effort, and I know that meant a lot to him in the country. So congratulations to him.
Mary?
Hey, Francis. What's the
Mary,
difference?
how are you?
Hi, how are you? What's the difference in your game when you're confident and when you're not confident?
I think there's a big difference. I think there's a massive difference. I think just the one thing you can see is a lot more joy and excitement when I'm playing, when I'm really confident. The level of fear I instill in my opponent for sure, and yeah, I mean, I just find I'm much more aggressive, much more sure of myself. I get the crowd into it. I play with much more passion, energy than when I'm not. So I think it's two different Francises for sure when I'm in that mode. So and I think it's really good for the game as well.
Can you fake the funk, or Andre Agassi? He would say like he'd be playing crappy, and then all of a sudden he'd hit one big ass forehand, and he was in. Can that happen with you?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, definitely you can have shots that definitely light you up. I mean, obviously not every day you're gonna be feeling your absolute best and be so amped up and whatever. But yeah, I mean, it's the biggest thing is to try to be as present as possible each week and try to get the most out of yourself, even those days where you're not playing your best. And that's what's been better for me as of late.
Hi, Francis. Just going back to the Olympics quickly. Obviously, you had your personal reasons for not playing. I just wondered if you had any FOMO, like when it was actually on.
Oh,
and
absolutely,
watching it.
absolutely. For sure. The boat day killed me. Minus the rain, I wouldn't have had so much fun in the rain. But seeing everybody, all Team USA and everybody there, friends with a lot of guys there from different sports and stuff like that. I mean, I think that's the time to connect with a bunch of whole other athletes. But at that time, I didn't know I was gonna make finals in Cincinnati. So I take that every day and getting my career back to where I need to be and winning a bunch of matches and stuff like that. So I think I made the right decision in the end. But that day, for sure, it'd be weird if you didn't.
Bill?
Hi, Francis. Bill Simons, Inside Tennis. So let's say you're sitting down with the tennis gods, and they say, okay, Francis, you American guys are all great players. Yourselves, Taylor, Tommy, Ben, Shelton, Seb, all these guys. But who, aside from yourself, who's the next American who's going to win a slam and hold up a slam trophy? Who would that be?
Well, I mean, if you're thinking I'm going to say anybody else but me, you're crazy.
No, not counting.
Yeah. I don't even know, man. It's hard to say anyone but myself. But ability-wise, all those guys have capability to do it. Let's go. Let's go Sebi probably. I like his game. He's really super complete.
Matt?
Hey, Francis. Matt Futterman from The Athletic. What's it like to, two questions. What's it like to wait all year for this tournament, which you're so keyed up for, but then to have to sort of like keep your emotions in check? And also, is that something that David helps you out with? And why did you bring him on, and what does he bring?
Yeah, I mean, he's very similar to me in personality for sure. But I mean, he's instilled a lot of confidence in me, man. Constantly always telling me to believe in myself, and just telling me how to. I mean, obviously with the obvious, but just lock in more on each point, play less loose points, but just ride the highs and lows better. Sometimes obviously you guys know I can get really high and sometimes pretty low, and he's just trying to manage me, keep me pretty even keel and stay much more poised while I'm out there. Not allowing moments to be bigger than what they are, or moments to be, as strenuous as sometimes I can make him as. So, yeah, that's probably the biggest thing he's added for me. But it's not easy, waiting for this tournament all year. I'm so amped up. It's circled on the calendar every year. You know, I love these 2 weeks, and I love playing tennis after Wimbledon. It's in the States. There's no better time for me.
Novak is from Sportico. So there's a new policy this year about that matches can be moved to a different court if they start past a certain time at night. What do you think about that new policy, and what do you think generally should be done about this sort of issue of matches finishing at 2 a.m., 2:30 a.m. at some of these majors?
Well, thanks for telling me that. I had no idea that was I had no idea that was a thing. But I think it's pretty epic, though. I mean, those late finishes. Obviously, it's tough. You know, you have to recover and come back the next day. It helps that you have that day off. But you know, I played one late match against Andre here like 3 years ago, and that was pretty epic. But I mean, it's New York. I mean, I don't think the fans mind too much. But yeah, I mean, I think it definitely helps from a recovery standpoint for sure.
Question over there.
Hey, Francis, Lucas Weiss with The Athletic. I'm curious, what music do you listen to before a match, either to pump yourself up or chill yourself out?
Yeah, I mean, if I'm just relaxed, I'm listening to a lot of Afro beats, Burna Boy, just kind of gets vibing out. But before matches, as of late, listen to a lot of Nipsey Hussle and just trying to get really pumped up. You know, I love some of his rap, and he gets me definitely in a really good mode, for sure.
Time for a couple more.
Chris Budden with ESPN. While you were sitting at home with Fomo, who of your friends were you watching? What sports, and who were you cheering on?
I mean, I was cheering on everyone. I mean, Gio, my agent, pretty much does everybody on the Olympic team, U.S. Olympic team. So it's pretty fun to follow. But no, I mean, yeah, I mean, I was following every sport. You know, so happy to see what everyone did in track and field. Obviously, Team USA, both men and women, basketball winning. You know, like watching the American tennis guys. Just following the whole thing. I mean, it's pretty cool. Olympics is pretty epic. You know, I mean, Ledecky doing her thing. She's from Maryland too, which is really cool. So it was awesome to watch. Olympics is something really cool, and I'm excited for LA.
Okay, last two, Brian, and then Mr. Lewis will have the final question.
You mentioned, obviously, you feel like you have good momentum coming here. It seems like a lot of players maybe don't. They haven't played much since the Olympics, and, you know, changing grass, clay, hard, whatever. Novak hasn't played at all. Coco struggled a bit lately. Does part of you think it's harder than, you know, you used to be able to pencil in 4 or 5 names you knew were going to be good in New York? Is it hard to do that this year because a lot of people don't seem like they're in great form?
I mean, yeah, I mean, it all changes in a couple of matches. I mean, you can't really anticipate that. Obviously, it looks like that going in, but I think it's open for a lot of guys this year for sure to have a chance at it. But I mean, you can never count those guys out. They're on top of the game for a reason. It's always different in the slam. The lights are a little brighter, so we'll see. We'll see what ends up happening. But you know, I mean, I just like where I'm at and my shot at it.
Okay. Last question.
Hi, Francis. Michael Lewis. I read about Tommy Paul and Riley Opelka a lot. So just a quick comment on Oj. Number one, just about Tommy's development this last 2 years and what you've seen as sort of the biggest changes in his game to allow him to get up here. And just sort of how much were you talking to Riley and trying to keep his spirits up during his 2 years he was gone?
Yeah, I mean, we spoke to Riley like a couple times a week for a couple of years. I mean, he was hitting us up after most matches all the time. You know, Riley and Tommy are the guys I'm really close with. I mean, we were playing since 10 and under together. Taylor came a little later, but yeah, I mean, those two were super, super close. And to see Tommy do what he's doing, man, is incredible. After a while, he was, you know, there was times where he wanted to give it up. He did an unbelievable job putting a great team together. He's much more serious. He's committed. He wants it. You know, he just loves being a part of us and being a part of the group of guys doing really well. He's been on top of the game. And he just wants it. He's always been super talented. Everyone knows his ability. But it's good to see him putting it together, and I'm super happy for him.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Francis.
Thank you.